advanced video replay on game-ending situations like that. What do you think of going to the monitor in situations like that?
I said this yesterday. I mean, I think we go to the monitor too much anyway. Like, I'm tired of everything going to the monitor all the time. I think they should I think the coaches should get one challenge, and if you want to save it till the end and use it on a play like that, use it on a play like that. But I mean, the games just get so slowed down when it goes to the monitor all the time. And, I mean, we're on the benefiting end of this one, and we'd probably be on the not on the benefiting end of other ones. And I've been on both sides. That's just kind of the way it goes. At the end of the year, everything pretty much evens out most of the time. So, we're just going to review every play of every game. I mean, that's what we're going to go to. I mean, it's an imperfect game. The players are imperfect. The coaches are imperfect. The officials are imperfect. That's just the way it goes. Obviously, there's a lot of there's a lot of heat on it because it was Kentucky and because it was on national television and that sort of thing. I mean, we already review. I mean, they go to that monitor for everything. Now, I mean, we go to the monitor at least twice a game now for the hook and holds. And that was an overreaction to the kid at Purdue getting hurt in the NCAA tournament. So now we're on a warpath about the hook and holds, and so we go to the monitor for that 2 or 3 times a game. I mean, I just wish we could limit the scope of that. I don't think we need to be adding to the scope of all that. But I do think if we give them, I think volleyball you get a challenge or two, right? The coaches do. You get a challenge or two. I think if you add that, and if you lose it, you lose a timeout, so you have to have a timeout at the end or whatnot. It add a little more strategy to the game. It wouldn't slow everything down necessarily.
Kentucky's hand going through the net, is that close? Or
I don't want to get into all that. I mean, I don't know. I mean, look at that. We're going to go back and look at their last possession where we fouled them twice, and come on. When we get into you want to get into all that.
The game should have a flow, is what
the game should have a flow. And, I understand the ending is very, very important. The most important part is the ending. We're going to go review every single ending. We already reviewed every clock. We go over and spend 2.5 minutes to get 0.2 seconds put back on the clock sometimes. And the SEC's got the best. The SEC's the best in the country at the replay. With the interactive replay and the people they got back in Birmingham, and we're by far the quickest in the country with the replay and the most sophisticated. So,
as a general rule, you think the game's getting too bogged down for the sake of trying to cause it?
Trying to make everything perfect, yeah. But it's just because. You'd have to ask officials, but I think it puts them in a really tough spot. I think with social media and everything it used to be like if your guy came over the back a little bit or pushed him in the back, and your guy, and let's say your guy pushed him in the back, but the other team knocked the ball out of bounds. Well, they would give the ball to the other team and just move on instead of calling a foul on your guy, which is a smart way to do things, right? You save one of your big guys a foul and you just give the other team the ball. There's no real advantage to it. Now they can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Now you can't do that because somebody's going to be crying about the over the back and they're going to give you 18 different angles of the ball going off the guy's fingertips and saying, why are you giving the other guy the ball? You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, that's just smart. That's just smart. The whole point should be to keep the best players in the game. Nobody wants to come watch somebody's backups play another team's backups, right? So if you can, and the officials are pretty good at that most of the time. The officials are good at that. So why would we want to rule you got to give those guys some leeway and some judgment on some things. And most of the time they're going to have pretty good judgment. They're going to miss some, yeah. But most of the time they're going to have pretty good judgment. But that's been taken totally away. Like that play I just saw, just talked about that 6-8 years ago, that happened all the time. And the coaches knew it. You didn't complain when they gave the other team the ball. You said, just thank you for not calling a foul on this guy. And smart. And the other coach who got the ball was fine with it too because they knew they'd do the same thing. They do the same. But now you can't because you got 50 different TV angles. You got some guy at Twitter back on his TV. can't do it, and they're getting held accountable for that. I think there should be, I look at officiating as an art. Like, I think it's an art. It's not necessarily just a job. Does that make sense? It's not, and I think they're trying to turn it into just a black and white just job. And I think there's an art to it. I think the best officials are good communicators, and I think you give them some leeway and you trust them. And I think that's how most coaches want it. For instance, another league I was in, not this league, we were at the league meetings and, you know, everybody was asking, why don't we get this one official? And every coach in the room liked the guy. Everybody said he communicates, he's good. And the associate commissioner sits up there and says, well, look at his numbers. His numbers are, he gets like, 87% of the calls right. They want you to be between like 92 and 94% or something like that. He's like the worst. Every coach will look at him. We don't really care. He's bad on both ends. He does a good job, and everybody likes him. Everybody communicates with him and gets along well. That's what I'm saying. It's an art. Like that guy had the art of officiating down. Did he get all the calls right? No, but he's gonna miss them on both ends. What's it matter? He gets out. Everybody liked him. You know, I think there's something to that. I didn't say he didn't get us fined, did I? Hopefully.
No.
It's very positive.
It's pretty cool.
That's fine.
Huh?
Good stuff.
What, Glenn?
I said.
Amy just extended this press conference.
I'm sorry.
It's her fault.
This is just.
I'm sorry.
I'm going